What is up, maniacs? I am Zach, and I am the Milly Maker Maniac. I'm gonna just do a quick best ball playoff draft here. Just want to check in with you guys. I'm gonna take the rest of the year off from doing the week-to-week episodes. Putting a lot of work into starting to get some stuff ready for next season. Gonna have some best ball draft kits, some season-long draft kits, and then just working on some forms and resources for y'all for week to week stuff for DFS once we get into next season. So working on building out a lot of stuff in the background. So I'm just going to start grinding on that. If I have any big wins pop up, I will hop on and do an episode, let you guys see what went down there. But I'm going to start focusing on getting stuff ready for next season with the goal of actually trying to make this my full-time gig eventually. So going to put some real work into it and getting some resources out there for all of y'all. So we greatly appreciate y'all to share the channel and tell your friends about it. And we'll start doing a whole bunch of episodes during the off season, doing best ball drafts, talking best ball strategy. And I'll start sharing with you some of those products that I'll have for y'all to check out. So that is to come. But today we're just going to have a low key little playoff best ball draft. I did want to show you my one best ball team that made it through to week 17. Was hoping to have a few more, but I got one that's got a legit shot at 30K prize in this tournament. There's 225 players left. Right now I'm in 26th place after the first couple games. The Lions let me down here, but with Jared Goff, and I also have Jameson Williams down here, but didn't completely kill me. Really the only player that I have that's completely dead on this roster is Anthony Richardson. So we need a big output from Brock Purdy. They play the Bears this week in San Francisco, so I think it's definitely possible. We got a nice little bank from Bill, Corey Krosky-Merritt on Christmas Day, so that's a good start. And then we got Jonathan Taylor and Bijan going this week, as well as Woody Marks, and Sean Tucker could also get in there as well. So looking good at the running back position. Would love to have 3 guys above this 22.5 number with JCM getting into the flex. We'd love to see Taylor or Bijan really go off. Or we could really get lucky with like a Woody Marks that's going to be very low owned just because he didn't play last week. So he's not going to be a very highly advanced player. At receiver, we might have to use George Pickens' score, but we got 5 other guys that are live to get into our lineup. Jalen McMillan, Luther Burden, Michael Pittman, Josh Downs, and Emeka Egbuka. Would love, even if just 2 of those guys got over 10, we could probably be in a good spot. And then at tight end, we're in a pretty good spot too, especially if Kittle plays. Would love for Kittle to play. We got Strange, Pitts, and Kittle. So, yeah, we're in a decent spot to go after this 30K. I'll keep you guys updated if anything exciting happens there. Unfortunately, that is my only week 17 best ball sweat this year, but this one lineup could save our whole season. That's the thing with best ball is it only takes one. So let's jump over here. We'll do a DraftKings one today. Going to do their 300K play action tournament. We'll go ahead and get into this waiting room. So a few things with just general strategy on these playoff drafts. What I'm going to try to do, I believe that there's so many teams that are tight this year. Like there's not like a team that is just far superior than the rest of the teams. And I think the teams that could end up with the 1 seeds probably aren't the best teams in their division. So I'm trying to, obviously we don't know who the 1 seeds are yet, and we're doing this draft well before that's set, which I think could give us an edge. Like once everything's established, I think a lot of people are going to pursue the 1 seeds or like the team that seems to have like the easiest path. But we can probably get some ADP advantage on some of those if we just guess right a couple weeks early. So I don't mind doing this a little early. Obviously, we'll have more information as we get closer to the postseason on who's going to be playing who and who looks like has the best path. But what I'm trying to do is basically get 4 teams, the AFC, NFC, the 2 championship teams in the AFC and NFC championship games. I want to pick those 4 teams and just get as many players as I can from those 4 teams. And ideally, I would love for all 4 of those teams to not have the first round bye where we're seeing no 1 seeds in the Super Bowl. That's kind of how I'm playing it. If we can do that, then we can get players from 4 teams that play every single week leading up to the Super Bowl. Obviously, to take down the big prizes when we get to the Super Bowl, we need to have the 2 teams that are in there. So let's look at the structure of this real quick. We got 18 seconds. We'll just kind of take it as it comes to us. So let's look at the details here. So round 1 is the wild card weekend. Only first place out of our, let's see, is this a 10-person draft, I think? No, 6-person draft. So only one person out of this 10-person draft moves on. And then same thing for week 2, divisional round. And then championship weekend, 1 out of 6 passes again. And then we have the Super Bowl where 550 players will get at least $100, but there is $30K prize there at the top. All right, so who did we end up with? Hasn't got to us yet. So I'll take whoever falls to me here, and then we'll just build around them. Would love to get McCaffrey if he falls, but I doubt that he will. But all 3 of these teams are teams that I could see, or all 4 of these teams are teams that I could see getting into the Super Bowl. So we'll just build around that however it falls. And then we'll start to, as the draft falls to us, we'll start to build a scenario of who those 4 teams are and then start putting them in my queue. All right, so it looks like we are going to say that the Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. I think there's a good chance they could be the 1 seed. It isn't the end of the world if they're 1 seed, but I almost like them better as a wild card team to make a run. I really like the Bills. We'd definitely take Cook if he got to us, but I'm sure that he'll be taken. But the thing with the Bills is really like the only 2 guys that you have to have from that team are Cook and Allen. Obviously, I think they're very capable of getting to the Super Bowl, but you're really Kincaid you can also get from that team. But beyond that, like even if guys score, like most of the time they're getting like 20 or 30 yards plus a touchdown. They spread the ball around so much that you don't see like huge weeks coming from Bills beyond James Cook and Josh Allen that often. I'll take either one of those guys, and then I really don't have to do too much more on the Bills side if I end up with that stack. I would go Saquon here, so we would be NFC heavy to start, but we would be going Eagles and Seahawks to be in the NFC Championship game, and then we'll have to figure out what we're going to build around on the AFC as it moves forward. Let's go ahead and we'll see how this plays, and then we'll get our teams queued up. All right, so we'll go ahead and take Saquon. So we will get the Eagles and the Seahawks queued up here. We'll definitely take Jalen if he gets to us. Let's go through and highlight all these guys. Actually, don't really want Shipley or Bigsby, so I would just start going down here with Horton and Cup. I really don't want anybody else there either. So, okay, so we got those guys queued up for those 2 teams. Now let's go back. Let's take this off, clear all. And let's see, we're going to need 2 AFC teams now. So we got our NFC teams figured out. The Patriots are definitely a team that I would be happy to attach to. What positions do we have too? We got running back. And we got a solid receiver set up. So we could go QB. Looks like Drake May just went. So that one kind of goes out. So we could go Jalen Hurts and just really lean into the Eagles being the team representing the NFC, but he just went there. All right, so I think I'm going to go Broncos, actually, which I haven't done a lot of. Let's go ahead and just get them queued up. Okay, it's on us. Let's get out of this. All right, so we'll go ahead and go Sutton, and then we'll take Deontay Smith if he gets there. We also need to figure out another team, so we'll see how it falls on the AFC side. Jags look good. I could do the Jags. I'll either go Jags or Pats. So if either ETN or Henderson are here, we'll go that. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I already have a running back with Barkley. Yeah, we'll just take this as it comes. Whoever falls to us, we'll just take it as is. In ADP, don't want to take a huge stand anywhere here, but need to get another AFC team. Obviously, I think the Patriots are very capable of making a run. So someone did just take Diggs. We'll go ahead and get Henderson here. Let's go ahead and get the Patriots all queued up. Okay, let's look at what we got position-wise. Do need a quarterback, so we could go with May's already gone. So you go with Nix or Darnold is really all we got left. So we'll go with Nix for now. We could also add Darnold later on, but we'll see if Nix gets to us here. 2 running backs already. Kind of got to make a decision here pretty quick on who we think is actually going to, on who our Super Bowl teams are going to be. I think I'm going to go with the Broncos and the Seahawks. So we'll lean for those 2 teams just to make sure that if we get to the Super Bowl. Obviously, if we take a team we're right on the whole way through, we're probably going to have a better chance of advancing because winning teams are going to score more points. And then when we get to the Super Bowl, obviously we want to have as many players as possible in that game in order to take down the big win. So we'll go ahead and play it as if it's a Seahawks-Broncos Super Bowl, which isn't, obviously, I don't think is the favorite to occur, but definitely is far from a long shot of occurring. So we'll just build around that. So next we'll go with Kenneth Walker here for sure. And we'll go ahead and get Sam Darnold too. We can add some other cheap pieces with both of these teams as we go down here. We already got Sutton, so we'll try to get Franklin here in a bit. Do we have tight ends already queued up? Yeah, we got Ingram, Barner. Okay, so we got cheap tight ends that we can tag on here as well. Did Nix just get taken? Looks like we missed out on Nix. Oh, no, we got Nix already. That's on me. My bad. So I think we're going to go Walker here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take Henry off. We're just going to lean into Broncos and Seahawks. So we'll take Darnold if he gets to us and Troy Franklin as well. Okay, coming up on our pick here, we'll go ahead and with Darnold. One thing we got to be aware of too is looking at this structure. We want to make sure that we have a chance of having a player in every position in our theoretical Super Bowl. So when we draft Darnold here, it'll actually get us 2 quarterbacks that we think are going to be in the Super Bowl. So we got that taken care of. We don't need to take any more quarterbacks. And then for running back, we have 1 running back that in our scenario, we're saying is in the Super Bowl. We have 2 that we're saying get to the championship games. So we might take another cheap, like a Charbonnet, or Charbonnet would be preferred, but maybe a McLaughlin later on. We don't have a tight end yet. I'm not too worried about that. We have 3 cheaper ones that we can get in here. So Franklin fell to us. That gives us another wide receiver piece that we think will be in the Super Bowl. So we would have Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, and Troy Franklin. And then obviously JSN we think is going to be in the Super Bowl too. So we'd be really good at receiver if this does end up being a Broncos-Seahawks Super Bowl. Now tight end, we'll probably lean towards, did we just miss out on some people? Oh no, Barner and Ingram are still there. There we go. We could add Booty here. Let's see, what pick are we coming up on? No, we'll just go ahead and lean into our approach on what the Super Bowl game is going to be. And we'll just go Barner and Ingram here and then hope that Charbonnet falls to us, and that'll get us 2 running backs in that game. In this theoretical Super Bowl that we're pursuing, we have 3 more bench spots and we need a tight end. So we're good at running back. We're good, or we would like to get 1 more. We'd like to get Charbonnet at running back if we can. It would give us 4 running backs, which can also play into the flex, so that doesn't kill our roster. We have, 3 wide receivers right now, but 3 solid wide receivers if our champion or if our Super Bowl is correct. And so we could we could go 2 tight ends here, and Charbonnet would be ideal if it falls to us. Look, did Barner just go? Yeah, okay. So now we'll probably go Ingram, Charbonnet, and Shaheed if it falls to us there. That's the path we'll go. So we'll just have 1 tight end. We'd love for it to be somebody besides Ingram, but if we're getting points in every position every week, we got studs everywhere else, we definitely can advance. Again, we're trying to build a scenario where we have players from 4 teams. Those 4 teams meet in the conference championship games, and obviously 2 of them play each other in the Super Bowl. So like once we commit to it early on in this draft, we just commit to it. We're not trying to change our mind as we're moving through. I'm going to have a whole bunch of different variations of 4 teams making the Super Bowl, and ideally it would be 4 wild card teams. That doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Obviously, 1 seed can get to that championship game. So we did get Charbonnet. So now we got tight ends we want, we got Ingram at tight end. We got all the running backs we want, 2 of which we think will be in the Super Bowl, 4 of which should be in the AFC Championship game. We currently have 3 wide receivers, probably want to get at least 1 more wide receiver. We're good at quarterback. We feel like we have the Super Bowl matchup for quarterback in there. And we have really solid receivers, but we need to get some more depth there. See what else we could do at tight end. Is there anybody else from the Seahawks or Broncos? We could also maybe that Broncos here. Yeah, there's not really anybody I want to pull out of that. Probably just go Shaheed, Pat Bryant. It gives us like the majority of the pass catchers for 2 teams that I'm saying are going to the Super Bowl here. And we got some solid running backs that get to the championship game. So, yeah, I think that's a solid build out. So we'll just go ahead and take this as is. We'll go Shaheed and then Pat Bryant. Well, with Shaheed there, like we said, so we're looking pretty solid. If our quarterbacks make it to the Super Bowl, we got Darnold and Nix. And for Nix, we got Cortland Sutton, Evan Ingram, Troy Franklin. And we're going to try to add Pat Bryant here in a second. And then for the Seahawks, we got JSN, obviously their stud. We got both running backs in Walker and Charbonnet. And then we got Darnold. And we also added Shaheed. So basically everybody but Kupp and Barner there. And now we did get Pat Bryant as well. So we're getting huge chunks of the 2 teams that we're saying are making it to the Super Bowl. And then 2 key players from the teams that we say that they face in the championship games in Barkley and Henderson. All right, my friends, there it is. Like I said, you'll be seeing less of me through the rest of the season. Like I said, I've been putting in work on getting some stuff set up for next season. Like I'm really going to try to pursue doing this full time. So got some grinding to do to really get all that put into place. But hit me up at millymakermaniac@gmail.com if you have any specific questions. I'm still doing plenty of research every week, just not allocating that extra time to doing the episodes right now, as I just need to put more time into getting the back end built out for what I'm hoping to have this offseason. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Good luck in week 17. Hope you guys take down many of your season-long tournaments. Hopefully take down some big best ball bags as well. Let me know about your wins. Looking forward to hearing about everybody's success. Good luck this week, and we will see you soon.